Hey guys, welcome to today's video, and in today's video we'll be covering how to make a simple first-person car in Unreal Engine 5 without using the ChaosVehicles plugin. So I'll show you how it works now. You can click on the car to enter, and as you see, the character is now inside the car, and you can turn your character's head to look inside the car, and then you can use WASD to start moving the car. But one of the only limitations of this design is it doesn't have a smooth deceleration. It kind of just stops when you stop clicking W. But for a less realistic indie horror game, this is totally fine, I guess. So let's get into it. So once you're in your Unreal Engine world and you've got your car mesh or car meshes imported, the first thing you're going to want to do is right click in the content browser and click on blueprint class and make sure you select character, and we can just call that BP car, and double click to open. And then in your content browser, select all of your car meshes or your car mesh and drag it on top of this mesh character mesh 0 over here. And then you want to scale everything and rotate everything so it fits the world. So it's in a relative proportion to this capsule component over here in the pink. That's essentially how big your first person character is going to be normally. So make sure you size everything and scale everything. So once you got everything in place, the next thing you're going to want to do is click on BP car and self. So it's going to be the highest in this hierarchy over here. And then in the details panel to the right, you want to search for actor. Sorry, you can search for tag. And then under actor over here, we want to add a tag by clicking this plus button. And we can call this tag car. And ensure it's under actor and not under any of these other tags. And the final thing we're going to do for our BP car blueprint is we're going to add a variable called player, and it's going to be a character. It's going to be a BP first person character object reference. So essentially what's gonna happen here is this is going to store the data for our BP first person character, so we can just easily cast to it without any issues. So the next thing we're going to want to do is go into our BP first person character. So over here I have the code to create a basic line trace. It will be in the description. All the code for this project will be in the description. So out of the branch over here, we're going to add another branch. So a quick way to do that is by holding down B and left clicking. And then from true, we're going to place that in here. And the condition we're going to drag out, and we're going to search for actor has tag. And then the target is going to be hit actor from over here. And the tag is going to be car, which is what we defined in the BP car blueprint. And then from true, we're going to cast to the BP car. And the object is going to be the hit actor. And as BP car, so first we're going to set this player variable. So I'm going to set player, and we're going to set it to our self. And then the next thing we're going to do is just a little bit above, right click and search get player controller, and then drag out from return value and search for possess. So the player controller should be in the target, and the in pawn is going to be the return value from cast to BP car. So after dragging the BP car into the world, we can test this. So I'm going to play from here. I'm going to left click. So you can see the character is actually going inside the car, but the reason it's not in the correct position is I forgot to add one key part. So when we go back into our BP car, we want to just click on the mesh. And then we're going to add a component, and we're going to add a camera. And then we can just move this camera up, rotate it, and we can ensure that it's in the right spot for where we want it to be. So we can actually see how it looks like by if we have the BP car on the world, we can click on it, then we can see what the camera sees over here. So I'm just gonna adjust it a little bit. And okay, let's say this is what I want. I think I'll move it a little higher. Okay, so this is what I want. So we can just exit that, and now we can check again. We can play from here, and then we can click, and as you see, we're now in the driver's seat, but currently nothing happens if we move or if we move our mouse. So to add input to the car, the first thing we're going to do is go into the BP car blueprint. Then out of event begin play, we want to, first we want to get player controller. So right click above and get player controller. And then we also want to get enhanced local input local player subsystem. And then out of that, we want to get add mapping context. We want to plug that into event begin play. And then the mapping context should be IMC default. The priority should be 1, so there are no errors. So essentially what this does is it will allow our character, this character, the BP car character, to receive the same input as our BP first person character, which is the IMC default. So next thing we're going to do is we're going to go down a little bit and right click, and we want to find IA move enhanced action events, and we want to get this IA move. And then we can just expand it. And then we want to right click on action value and split pin struct, so we have an X and Y value. So from triggered, we want to get add movement input, and then the world direction is going to be get actor right vector, and then the scale is going to be the action Y value. And then what we also want to do is, so this will allow us to move forward and backward. So to allow us to move left and right, first we're going to add a branch that will check if we can actually move left or right. So we don't want the character to be able to move left or right if they're not already moving forward. So how we're going to do that is we're going to add a branch. So drag out and get a branch. And then the condition, we're going to first right click and get velocity. Then out of get velocity, we're going to get vector length. And then from the return value, we want to get greater than. And then we want to get, let's say, 400. And then we can plug that into the condition. So what this is going to do is basically only going to allow us to turn left or right if our car's velocity is above 400. And then we're going to get, from true, add controller yaw input. And the value is going to be this X, but it's going to be multiplied by 0.1. Otherwise, it would be moving around too fast. So to exit the car, we're going to need to create a new custom event in BP first person character. And this is going to be called move next to the car, because essentially what's happening here is our BP first person character is getting unpossessed and this car character is becoming possessed. So whenever this car moves somewhere, the BP first person character is still in its same spot. So before we exit the car, we want to move the BP first person character next to the car again. So in BP first person character, you want to right click and get add custom event, and we can call that move next to car. And then let's drag out and get actor of class. And the class is going to be BP car. And then from return value, we're going to get the mesh. We'll get world location. Then we want to choose mesh. And then we're going to get our capsule component over here from the side. And then you want to set world location. And we can plug that into here. And then out of this get world location, we want to add a small offset so they don't just spawn directly inside the car. So in the X value, we'll add 250, but we can experiment with that later on. And then we can plug that into new location over here. So it's pretty simple. And now inside BP car, what we're going to need to do is, we need to assign a key that they can use to exit the car. So I'm just going to use the E key. So we'll get E over here. And then from pressed, we want to first cast to BP first person character. BP first person character. And the object is going to be this player variable we have over here. And then as BP first person character, we want to get move next to car. So we want to call this function. And then we'll call a small delay just to make sure nothing wrong is happening. So it'll be 0.1 seconds. And then we want to get player controller. And we want to call unpossess. And then we want to get the return value again. And then we want to call possess. And then the in pawn is going to be the out value of BP first person character. We can compile and save. So let's see if this works. So we're going inside the car, and if I click E, yeah, so if I click E, I'm moving outside the car. We can move the car around a little bit to see if it still works. And yeah, I'm still spawning next to the car afterwards. So that's cool. So the final part of this video, I'll just be covering how to increase the speed of the car and add an acceleration as well, just so it feels a little bit more realistic. So in character movement over here, you want to get max walk speed. We want to change this to something like 20,000, for example. The acceleration over here, we can reduce that to something like 500. So if we test the car out now, so I'm just going to delete these so we can drive the car around a little bit further. We're going to extend the track a lot. So click play from here. If you go, so you see the car starts off slowly, but now it's accelerating, and now I'm at a decent speed for a car, and I can drive around. So that's it for this tutorial. I'm gonna continue to try to make this car more realistic, but I just decided to make this basic tutorial for now. There you have it. It's a simple car without the ChaosVehicles plugin. So thank you guys for watching, and all the blueprint code will be in the description. And make sure to check out my other cool videos where I show you how to create this notification system and also this conversation system like you see in Fierce to Fathom games. So once again, make sure to check my other videos out, and also please check out my games on itch.io. And thank you for watching, guys.